It was a system of hate that laid you down. Blood raining from your body like lightning-piercing clouds, and your blood rains in my memory like the color red on stained magnolia flowers. I defied the system that made the coward, that pulled the trigger, that caused you not to be. The system of hate still haunts the ones you called your own. I defy the system with my spirit, flesh, and bone. I slay the system with my tongue, actions, and deeds. I stand tall, helping Black people off of their knees. Kissing the system leaves degrees of filthy ignorance in the form of handouts and blackface. While white faces show false pride, slip and slide and hide behind white lies. Neck, your soul echoes through bottom trees. Fall from Mississippi winds to the crown of my head, releasing all fear. Sit me up. Turn me loose. These words I see. These words I hear. How close can your soul be? Brother Charles over airwaves keeps alive your memory. Sister Merle fought for justice for 30 years and won. Cowards can never hide behind the evil they have done. The truth is clear. It is you I hear. On cool, steamy nights when my peace is interrupted, the shadows on the wall scream, get up and do something. My only recourse is to write with pen and pad, words to right the wrongs from the not too distant past. It is all too late. Sit me up. Turn me loose. These words I see. These words I hear. To those who speak your name, from the street or post office that gives it fame, to those that don't know the back roads you roamed to make Mississippi a home worth calling home. Sit up, you mighty people. Turn loose the mental chains. Sit up, my beautiful people. Turn loose the burden of blame. Sit up, love for a people, for all humanity. Turn loose the evil that uproots the tree of life. Mississippi. 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 Whether you be heaven or hell, I am here, holding the memory of Mecca until Black people have no fear of themselves. In the cup of our mother's hands, we hold the memory of the man. Mecca, Mecca.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Reviving Mississippi. I'm your host, DeKeither Stamps. We got our co-host here, Mr. Jason Clark. What's going on, JC?
Man, I'm glad to be back in the saddle right now, man. I missed you last week, man.
Man, we've been rocking and rolling.
Yeah. All week.
It's been a good week.
That's
all right. It's been a good week. We've been rocking and rolling. We got a great show lined up for you today. As we begin this show, we always talk about, remembering those people who are going through bereavement. But today I'm going to ask y'all specifically for something personal. And I don't ask a lot,
Yes, sir.
There's a young man, a high school football player in Alabama, died Tuesday afternoon after suffering a medical emergency at football practice during drills. He was identified as 14-year-old Simja Wilkins, a varsity player and a freshman at New Brockton High School, according to Coffee County Coroner Aaron Woodham. Simji was taken to the medical center in Enterprise by Enterprise Rescue, where he died, while additional details will be released later. I'm asking the community to continue to be in prayer for his family, his teammates, his coaches, and all affected by the tragic loss of Mr. Wilkins. Coffee County Schools Superintendent Kelly Cobb said Coffee County Sheriff's Department and District Attorney's Office are investigating the death, and the school district is fully cooperating with the agencies. Cobb also said that such a crisis response team will be available at the high school to provide support for the family, friends, classmates, teachers, and other school staff as you go through this. This young man attended high school with my daughter. My daughter, as y'all know, I'm a girl dad to my core, and talk to young folks. They're dealing with serious situations, and this is not the first young person that died tragically at the high school. There was another young man that died a year or so ago. So they've endured this. It just happened yesterday, so it's fresh. Off the top of my head, I see young folks out there, football practice, band practice, cheerleader practice, drill team practice. They doing all this for Friday Night Lights.
That's true. That's what they're doing for.
Adults leaning in, pushing young folks. You got to understand that these are different young folks than us. We played all the time. So being outside wasn't something abnormal. It wasn't something that was just something you had to prepare to do. We were outside all day anyway. We just went to football practice and then went and played basketball after football practice, came on home. But young folks today, they just don't do as much as we did. We were working outside on the farm or outside doing something. So as you have your children in all these sports, remember that they're not us. They're just like, they're not us when we were children. They're us now. Most folks don't spend time outside. Now I'm outside every day doing something all day. So it's not new for me. But if you're not outside all the time, that means your children are outside all the time. Just like it would be a challenge for you to go running down your driveway 100 times this hour, it's going to be a challenge for these young folks. So they've been in air conditioning all day long. In sedative state, watching TV all the time, so make sure you take care of your bodies, the young people, because the phone call I got last night, talking to my daughter, and I can just hear the pain and the hurt. There's more to it than was in the news story there, but we got too many young folks that are at risk because of lack of preparation. So make sure your diet is right. Make sure your children's diet is right. Make sure that they're involved in these youth sports, that they do more. Don't just do the youth sports and then come in. They need to be outside regular, like a lifestyle.
Right. I mean,
right where you're. I'm a firm believer that if you got a young person, you shouldn't be paying somebody to cut your grass. They need to be outside, learning to work. And everybody out there, take care of these young folks. But more importantly, talk to them. Make it a point to talk to them. They right in the room next to you. You're right there. Grown folks, put your phone down. It'd be amazing how better the world would be if we took all the time that we spent on Facebook and gave it to our children. Hello. Huh?
That's a mouthful. It's needed.
I'm just saying. Communication. We got to, every time this happens, we all look at each other and say, who should have done what? The coach should have done this. The trainer should have done that. I got it. And I'm for anything that could be made better. Yeah. But I know the guaranteed number one thing that can be made better is we can be better parents. Let's just start right there. And we can spend more time preparing and focusing on our children. My grandmother was amazing because she didn't have Facebook. The only thing she had to pay attention to was us. There wasn't nothing else in that house to pay attention to but us.
You said a lot now.
Okay.
You're saying a lot.
When children grow up in a situation where ain't no adult in the house got nothing else in the house but to look at us. Yeah. It's either us and a TV, and that's it. And you can do both of them at the same time. So my point I'm trying to say is,
Hey, man, like,
at some point, we got to make sure that we take care of our young folks. I know I harped on that a lot, but when you had a death of a child, you should pause. No matter where you are. This is in Enterprise, Alabama, where my daughter's in high school at, but it has been right here.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not like this hadn't happened right here in Mississippi. So that's why I'm talking about it, because the death of a child anywhere should affect every adult and every child everywhere to stop what you're doing. Stop talking about all this other stuff, politics. The children are the most important thing that we have. They are the future. There is no future without the children. So I just want to take a pause today. I know I spent the first 14 minutes of the show talking about this, but pray for these young folks. Pray for your young folks. Pray with your young folks.
Yeah.
My daughters know every night I put my hand on their forehead and I pray over them individually. Every night when they're home. When they're not home, I pray over them from afar. But they got to have a personal relationship with their parent in prayer over their soul. It changed how they move. They may say, "Daddy, but they love it."
They love it. They're gonna reflect on it.
Okay. They may say, "Daddy, you know." They may look at you like you embarrassing them, because when they over their cousin's house, auntie house stuff, I make sure before I leave, I pray over them. If they going to spend the night, I'm dropping them off. Whew. And so much so that my niece, pray with me too. I'm just telling you. We got to make sure that these children know that we personally care about their soul, their life. It changes how they move. We got some announcements here, ladies and gentlemen. Experience Jackson.
Come on now.
Let me say something specifically about Miss Yolanda Singleton and the way she moves. She does a great job. Saturday, October 12th, 2024, we outside but inside party. She has Breeze, Mr. Do Too Much, Big Yayo, FPJ, Candace Janae, Frank Johnson, Jake Carter, and headlining is LJ Eccles. Make sure y'all going out to it'll be the fairgrounds on Saturday, October the 12th. You can get your tickets on Ticketmaster or the official outlets of Bettina's Soul Food Kitchen, Harris Shoe Repair, Big City Package, Cutting Edge Barbershop, WGAR 102.5, Sylvester's Barbecue, or you can contact Experience Jackson. You can call for tables and tickets. The telephone number is 678-322-8098. That's 678-322-8098. The New Hope community presents the 6th annual Gospel Fest, Saturday, October the 5th, 2024 at 5 p.m. This is the kind of place that Jason Clark grew up in here, boy. That Jay, if you ever seen somebody that can sing some gospel music, that comes J.C. Clark. Lead organizer, Mr. Lee Whitehead.
Yes.
Pastors, Reverend Lamar Boone. Devotion will be held by Reverend Joshua Myers. And the host is Mr. Larry Armstrong from WMPR 90.1 FM, held at New Hope MB Church, 935 Highway 469 in Pearl, Mississippi. For more information, call Lee Whitehead at 601-291-0156, 601-291-0156. And coming up on September 21st, we at the Washington County Convention Center, we have the 47th annual Mississippi Delta Blues and Heritage Festival. Ticket locations are Disco Den and Scotch Records in Greenville, Mississippi, S&S College of Hair in Indianola, Mississippi, Harris Shoe Shop in Greenwood, Mississippi, Looking Good in Cleveland, Mississippi, Davis Snack Shack in Shelby, Mississippi, in Bolivar County.
Come on now.
Doc Hot Wheels, Lake Village, Arkansas, or online at impacttickets.com. Also, our underwriters for today's show, Mr. Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan Transportation Service. You can go to www.mjstransportation1.com for your transportation needs. He offers quality transportation service all over the state. But more importantly, he is an amazing, amazing community-minded person that rolls over resources to rehab houses, to rehab areas in town, so that the economy rolls over and we build wealth and we build economy inside our community. Also, if you want some good food versus fast food, come on over to Stamp SuperBurgers and get you, you can just go check them out. I can't tell you to go there because the rules of 90.1 say I can't tell you to go there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's what the rules say. Ain't that right, Henry? The rules say I can't tell you to go there. That's what the rules say. I can't tell you to go there. I can't. That's just what the rules say. I cannot tell you. I can't suggest you go there. I can't elude for you to go there. All I can say is them daggum lemon pepper fries are amazing. That's what I can say.
I like sweet potato fries.
Well, each way we want to go.
Tiger time. That's all I want to say.
Also, tomorrow, the Public Service Commission will be hosting a solar summit starting at 9 a.m.
Yes, sir.
9 a.m. Be all day long. With the commission, the commission is doing these summits.
Yes.
A few weeks ago, we had one centered around water. Now we're doing a solar one. We'll have a nuclear one, and we're taking every piece of our purview and having a roundtable about it. Having folks from the industry, people who support these industries, people who don't support the industries, legislators, contractors, to just circle up and talk about each piece of the puzzle, how we can be better as an industry. One thing about the Public Service Commission is we are a quasi-judicial body, so we won't be talking about a specific case, because if we did that, then we will be ruled as prejudgmental and not being able to rule over the cases that come before us. But we will be talking about the industries as a whole. All right, so if you have an interest for or against when it comes to solar in Mississippi, come let's talk about it, because we all support energy production in every way, and we're gonna just have a little round table.
Commissioner, I do want to say one thing for the public constituents. There's a great opportunity to get engaged, get involved, actually just to come to learn. My first summit was water. I thought I knew a little bit. I learned a whole lot.
Oh.
And I mean, it's good because you understand how the state of Mississippi constituents are actually being serviced by all the different agencies around water.
That's right.
So it's a good thing. Like you just said, though, I think a lot of people should come out. Especially, I'm looking forward for the next couple of ones that's coming up. Solar's kind of new. I would be honest. I'd say one thing. I wish the colleges would get involved too, like engineering guys, those folks who are in those industries. That's a great side for them to see how government actually works too, though. This part of exposure.
Okay, you're totally right, Mr. Clark. And so, pay attention to these summits. They'll also be on YouTube.
Yes, right.
If you can't make it, you can participate online virtually and hear the information and provide your input. It was a collaborative process. We're just trying to put things on the table, discuss them, to come up with recommendations to the legislature for potential legislation in the future. So if you have a legislative idea, there will be legislators present, and it'll be streamed for them to view later. So if you have something you'd like to input for potential legislation in the future, bring those ideas forward, because I'm the type of person that believes that we can produce better when we communicate in an earnest and honest way. So govern yourselves accordingly. We got a few comments here on Facebook. We appreciate Ms. Carol, Timothy Brown, Ms. Donna Owens. We appreciate y'all for tuning in and being faithful listeners over these last several years. Our anniversary is coming up.
It is.
October will be our, how many years? 11? 2013? Yeah, so 2013. So October will be 11 years for us. So we'll be celebrating that coming up. We appreciate the 11 years of service and love. We should probably have a reunion. Get Mac in here, get Mac Epps and Karen Nelson, and everybody who has right, who has been with us on this journey. Let's catch this caller. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment?
you doing, Mr. Stamps?
Hey, bro.
Look, first of all, thanks for taking my call.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, as public service commission, are you over the Madison County area?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't know if anyone have reported it, but Bear Creek, the water they have, I don't know what's in it, but you can run that water and brown stuff, trash and stuff come out of it, and it does it every day. I don't know what's wrong with it, but you run in the bathroom, you can see it. We don't drink it, but I imagine some people, may have to, boil it or something to drink it.
Okay, Mr. Harris, this number we got here ending in 2118, a good number to reach out to you after the show?
Yes.
Okay. He's speaking of Bear Creek Water Association. And when it comes to the water associations, we're going to dive into the issue, but the most direct way is, have you contacted the water board for the Bear Creek Water Association about the issue already?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Well, that's the first step, but we'll give you a call after the show to kind of dig and get more information. We'll get you probably Jason Clark or Miss Tina Carter give you a call and get your address and some personal information, and so we can kind of see what's going on. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
No problem. And so, what do you call it? When it comes to water associations and electric cooperatives, even though that's our area that we cover, those associations are kind of independent. We cover the investor-owned utilities like the Entergy and the Atlases and the municipalities outside of a mile of those municipalities. But the water associations, we do work with them. We don't govern them. The boards of the water associations govern the water associations. But we'll work with them, and we know everybody over at Bear Creek. We'll sit down and kind of walk through the issue and see what's going on, even though it's not our direct purview. But when it comes to utilities, we dive in to make sure that folks are taken care of.
All about building relationships, man. Make sure everybody has a quality life, man. So, Commissioner.
But they're rolling over at Bear Creek. They're averaging about 1,200 new customers a year. So it's growing. So it sounds like there needs to be some maintenance done in that area to make sure that they got the proper service that they need.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna make sure we call it, but he's also gonna learn about that board, how important that board is.
Oh, the elections for your water board, to me, are just as important as the president.
Yes.
Let me explain something to you. Local elections, water board, electric cooperatives, city council, mayor, supervisor, local judges, local elections are way more important than national elections. Now they're all important.
Mm-hmm. They got a place.
They got a place.
Yeah.
But the local elections is the water you drink, the power you get. Yeah. Local elections should get just as much energy as federal elections. I'm not saying federal elections are not important. I'm saying local elections should get the same amount of energy because it's your money. Yeah. Right? They're important. So just make sure that you, anytime it's time to vote, whether it be an electoral position or even down to the board at the church, and voting for a pastor and all that. All of it's important.
I had these deacons call up in here now.
Hey, everybody, just know this. Whenever it's time to vote, kingdom builders wear purple on election day. So no matter when you vote, you make sure you got that purple on to let folks know that you are here, you are serious, and you are not playing when it comes to voting.
Well, Commissioner, we just to bring that up, we had a good conference this past week.
Yeah,
this past weekend, whatnot though, around policy and how federal agencies help out with with plethora of things, whatnot. You want to speak on a little bit that kind of stood out to you this weekend? Sir?
So this past weekend, we were able to attend the Tunica Policy Conference, and it was hosted by Congressman Thompson, and he had several members of the congressional delegations from across the country. He also had representatives directly from the agencies in the White House and in federal agencies on hand to show people and walk folks through these processes. Sometimes you know, the federal government does things, but they don't bring it to the people directly. And one of the aims of the Tunica Policy Conference is to bring the top leadership of federal government to be focused right here in Mississippi. This is their 25th year that they've been doing this in Tunica. And if you're a supervisor or a mayor, you get a chance to sit down and have dinner with folks at the top levels of government in America and talk about your issues, even problems that we have. I remember when I was a city council person, one of the most invaluable things that I took from that conference was I had the opportunity to sit down and see what was wrong with our application process and why we weren't competing and receiving resources on par with other people. And it was just some basics of understanding of the process. And once we got that level of understanding, we were able to share it with other people and help them be more competitive and take care of their cities. So I encourage folks to participate any opportunity you have to build relationships, because you know, when it comes to resources, relationships matter.
Well, I'm going to add this. This is my first time being a 10 commissioner. One thing I saw when you spoke in the class, I guess it was some classes that you spoke to, you know, a couple of years from now, maybe another 5 or 10 years, the baton's going to be passed to the millennial generation. And some things you were speaking about was taking this conference, not just to come in and have a good time. You know how some conferences you have a good time and all that good stuff. But you were really adamant about paying attention to detail. Oh yeah, asking questions. No, I'm saying you were going. I don't think you probably aren't paying attention. I was doing more of this recording. but I was saying when I was taking in front of it, a lot of those guys are in there. We're around the same age, right? And so we're talking about this stuff. We really appreciate that, because they were like, well, they said, hey, yeah, they do this, but man, we really need to be doing what he's saying, because look at the times right now. We don't have a lot of people we can lean on to give us some guidance. Like I'll say Dr. Micheal. Right? Great example of what to do, how to pour back, how to actually pour back and, you know, raise us. You don't have to be like that. You're gonna have to go to that mode. And, I'm already there. And you take that back. You're already in the mode. We're already in the mode. More aggressively, I would say. But I mean, the conference to me was, I said, man, I wish we did this like every semi-annual or every quarter, just so you can get us in that mind frame that, you know, hey, we ain't gonna play around.
Just to catch folks up, we were asked to speak to the incoming class of MBLI. They do a cohort, a 9-month program where they bring people through a leadership process. I was in the 2013 class, and we have worked together with all of folks for years, and good folks. And my message is starting to change a little bit. You've been with me 10, 11 years now, Jason.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Clark. And my tone is changing, because, you know, we've been known as being, you know, a nice guy, you know, but our tone is changing because the reality is changing. The seriousness is more right in our face. And so some of you might see some of my tone changing. That's because it's not sinking in. Some of these same things that we talk about now, we've been talking about for a long time. And the changes haven't come as abrupt, even though we've been kind of articulating some things that need to change. So what we realize is that I got to change how I talk, because when I just explain something to folks, they just take it at a off cuff and just kind of go on. Yeah. But if I change my tone, it'll be received more serious, because I'm a little jovial sometimes. I crack some jokes to kind of break the ice and stuff like that. But my tone has to change, because even though we've been saying things, some things that need serious change haven't happened because I've been being nice in how I say it. And so we've started to change our tone, you know, and some of the things are more direct. So I don't want anybody to feel like, you know, we've just changed up. We've just got more focus, and we have less time for the BS. We got to go right to the heart of the issue, because there's so many issues. So I can't just patty cake every issue anymore, especially when it comes to serious issues.
Well, also, Commissioner, one thing that does it weeds out who is actually taking this public service. You know, you're being a public servant, serious to the degree, and not just taking it because of the title. That's what that's what I really got there. That's what I really saw you was doing. More important, you're trying to weed out who was really trying to be on the front line. I would say for the Lord, going back to my church day.
That's right.
And who is up here and just faking it and just want to just get whatever personal gain out of it, whatnot. So, and we don't have that we don't have that flexibility. We can keep on playing with this thing. You see, going back to the early talking about these children.
That's right.
These policies and these laws are cultivating the environment.
That's right. That's
so,
right.
I mean, I'm
right.
jokingly saying it, but it's so serious because once again, we see how our environment is going. It depends on what zip code you in, when you get this access, don't get this access, or what type of access you got. But then again, if you don't know what to look for, or like you said, hey, I had to go to take this class to find out, hey, or we missing all this money because we don't know these basic steps.
Right.
Well, let's fix these steps so we can get our people. They sent us here to do this job.
Right.
They didn't send here to dress up and shake hands and
take pictures,
and give out food. They sent us to work.
That's right. To deliver.
And obviously, a lot of us haven't been working the way we should be working because look at the community. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm just talking about what it is.
You know, I just got a message.
Yes,
somebody asked me, was I going to dance around the issue?
Well, we actually are talking about the issue directly and indirectly. And I'm
just going to cut to the chase of it. My heart goes, when I saw the news today, it hurt.
I know it did.
It hurt. You know, because we know, one thing about Jackson, Mississippi, everybody knows everybody. You know, and they say in the world that we're all 6 degrees of separation, but in Mississippi it's like 1. Like no matter who you are in Mississippi, you know somebody that know me. No matter who you meet, you can meet the homeless guy on the street, and then you get to talking to him, and you're gonna know somebody that know him personally, that know you personally, not just a distant connection, but a personal connection. So when it comes to these issues that we're dealing with, people ask me I've been called by media companies asking for a statement because I actually served on the city council. And first and foremost, my heart goes out to everybody that is impacted in this because it's avoidable. My heart it hurts. It really hurts to see community, because it's not just about the elected officials who are involved, it's the people who have faith in them. It's hurt.
And they lose. Go ahead.
And so my first thing I would say is everybody that's involved need to step down together so that they can have one group of special elections to move forward. Don't one now and then 2 weeks later another one, but then you got the ward this election over here. You got
control chaos.
Right. Again, that's my second statement, is that if you're involved in it and you know you're involved in it, everybody should just step down together. First and foremost. Third thing, you say, well, how do you prevent this from happening? In our office, we don't go to lunch with folks. We don't go to dinner with folks. We don't meet over nothing. And if I'm meeting, I'm buying the lunch myself.
That was day one.
Day one.
Day one for me.
Jason, you know what? This would be a good time for you to don't tell the people we had lunch with, but tell the story of what happened day one. You can't work for me.
Day one, you know how you watch those movies and you go someplace and somebody comes in and they basically say, well, you don't make $125 a week. Hey, let me give you my cell phone number. And basically, I'm being honest with you.
I was there.
Anything you need, Mr. Clark, you just let us know. And I'm up here doing 20, 30 hours a week. But I'm just, I can't say I can't give more detail. But let me say this though, there were some things going on at the time where they saw me as an asset to use. But you already told me, say, hey man, we buy our own food,
right?
You know, and one of my favorite restaurants too. Now, you know, I love it. Can't say what I want to say where it was at, but to your point, and that wasn't even planned. Now, that was like boom.
That was 10 years ago,
and they were serious.
Yeah. So,
but I mean,
it's better to ride in your little Ford Ranger, your Grand Marquis, my little Corolla ahead of time. Because let me tell you something, the minute I got off that city council, the people that called me all the time never called me again. These folks ain't your friend, they just want your vote.
Always.
Hello, caller, welcome to the show. Turn your radio down, caller. You're blowing your eardrums out. What you got?
Yes, I thank you, Mr. Stamp.
All right, bro.
Listen, man, you know, I said not looking, I listen, man. I read the comments.
Yes, sir.
But I mean, we at a point, we at our inner crisis in this city. And we can sit back and smile and it ain't that bad, and your heart go out. It's embarrassing. And I mean, we need to be treated like that, man. We can't even get a good elected official to do right. And I mean, I understand very much, you know, why the white folks feel like they feel about the city. It's evident that we got some serious problems. And it sounds like it's not even over with. And I expect you and others, man, to just put your foot down. All that I'm talking about, you know, my heart go out. My heart don't go out. I'm serious, man. I wish the very worst for somebody would take advantage of the taxpayers of this city. I'm sorry. We are at a point now where we got to make some examples out of people that's overseeing the city. And to just vote them out ain't good enough. Under my head down 100 years, make some examples. If you can talk about Bill Bryan and all these different folks, man, well, I mean, you know, that's a different story too. But I'm just embarrassed, and it's just a shame. It just is over and over, year after year, election after election.
Yeah.
You can't trust none of them. And here we talking about just, you know, it could be some more people. Man, that's awful. And I mean, if you don't finally go and get mad about what's going on in this city, we're going to be here another 25 years with an empty city and talking about, well, you know, just pray and it ain't that bad and my heart go out. Man, that's foolish. I'm sorry.
All right.
Thank you for taking my call.
No problem. And let me go a little deeper. Let's unearth a solution that we put on the table and put on the table several times. We identified in 2014 that the form of government that the city operates under is the most corrupt form of government that you can have. 97% of all public corruption cases come out of the mayor council form of government. So we've put on the table several years in a row that Jackson needs to change the form of government to the least corrupt form of government in the country as a structure. See, we've been looking at people problems, and the problem is structural. And if you change the form of government, that means it changes how the government operates. This form of government is the most corrupt form of government that's out there. Not DeKeither Sam saying this. I'm saying that you can Google what is the most corrupt form of municipal government in the country, and it's going to say that the mayor council form of government leads to 97% of all the public corruption cases. So our solution in 2014 and still in 2024 has not changed. Change the form of government to the council manager form of government. Make the council full-time so that council people only focus on Jackson. Now, I was in a very privileged situation, and I can't just take total credit for this, but I got over 400 family members live in Jackson. So I can't just be out here doing stuff crazy, all right? And I retired at an early age because of injuries from the war. So I came home at a younger age, but I had economy as well. And, you know, we still farming, we still doing legal business. We also started a grass cutting business and started cutting grass.
Tell the truth now.
So what I'm saying is we did all these things so that we could pay our bills. So we were in the community cutting grass because we were able to make money so that we wouldn't be subjected to these kind of temptations. And so if we change the form of government, decentralize the power of the government, the mayor council form of government basically operates where the council and the mayor work together. The mayor runs all the meetings and the council people make decisions, and then you appoint a city manager, a competent person to run the city. And so that's how it will work, where you have a board. We propose to have 4 council people and a mayor, which will give you 5 voting members on the board. With the population has declined so much, if you have 4 council people that will ungerrymander the city so that money can be distributed around the city equally. Let me say it again. If you change how this thing works, money could be invested all around the city. But the way the city government works now, if you on the back end of the 4-3 divide, where 4 wards get together, absorb all the money, and the other 3 wards, generally wards 3, 4, and either 5 or 6, whoever not part of the clique, don't get any money.
The majority of population on one side.
And the majority of population is in West and South Jackson. So when I say, yes, we've had people issues, but our problem is a structural problem. And until you change the structure, you're going to continue. Let me tell you what a city council person makes. One check is going to be $558, and the other check is going to be $618.
Okay, that's now.
That's when I was there. It hadn't changed.
Yeah, okay, we're there.
So as the council person, you're gonna bring home after you pay the FICA and all that stuff that you pay. You're gonna bring home about $1,200 a month.
I'm rich, but we're talking about the assistant that was getting $125 a week.
And the assistant Jason Clark over here.
But we're doing 40 hours more now. Yeah. You're up there reading all these deals, and you reaching other deals across the country. I mean, I'm talking about all that other work they don't see behind the scenes that's going on.
So again, our suggestion, ladies and gentlemen, it's been the same suggestion. We put it on the table to be voted on. I tried to get the legislature to force the city of Jackson to change the form of government, and everybody just went crazy like I ain't know what I was talking about.
Well, let me say this, Commissioner, at the end of the day.
All right, we got a whole bunch of callers in here. Let me get this call. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment? Turn your phone down, turn your radio down, brother. I can hear some feedback.
How about now?
You got it going on. What you got for me?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I agree with the last caller that it is infuriating. It really takes me to a level of anger for the citizens of Jackson. There really is, it's just something that I can't put into words. But what I do want to say is, the citizens of Jackson have to stand up for themselves at this point. We have to lead our neighborhood. I ain't say community. Start on your block, your neighborhood. Y'all have to care about your neighborhood more than your council person do. That's the only way it's gonna work. You cannot elect these people and think they're. I want to say first, what did the people in Ward 2 elect her to do if they didn't elect her to go give them sidewalks and street lighting and updated bridges?
Okay. Let me catch this call.
If it wasn't to do their work.
You're right, bro. Again.
So I don't want to cut you off. I just wanted to, because we get a little feedback too. I just wanted to say, we have an opportunity here in Jackson to take and do what we will with this city. On Monday, August 19th, Georgetown Neighborhood Association is having a community association meeting. It's going to be targeted towards community development, community improvement, and beautification. People show up if you live in Georgetown. If you care about Georgetown, it's not enough for you to complain about our council person. You need to show up and put some pressure on them to give you what you need in your neighborhood. Our property values have been depleted over the last
hold on for a second, brother. Hey, brother, hold on a second. We just explain something to you. What's your take on what I just told you? Because if you're on the back side of the 4-3 split of the Jackson City Council, your ward doesn't get anything, but you got to change the structure. The structure creates the corruption and the structure creates the inappropriate allocation of resources. All right, so
I tell you what I think about that. Let me just say this. I do agree that the council absolutely needs to be a full-time position. If you are supposed to be overseeing the needs of the entire ward, your time needs to be targeted towards investigating and dissecting the issues of your community so that you can provide solutions for it. That's my opinion on that. Manager, I don't know what the difference is between a city manager and.
All right, so research, we're gonna have a whole show on that next week. Let me catch the next caller, brother.
You got it.
All right. Turn your radio down, Cab man.
Yeah, man.
What you got, brother?
I'm fine. Good afternoon to everyone Mr. Sams and everyone that with you, guys. Thanks for taking my call, sir.
Yes, sir.
I just want to reiterate some of the things that this gentleman just said, this comment about the war. We have people that are elected to supposed to do a certain amount of work for the people that represent these different districts. Mm-hmm. But we have people that have limited resources, and the resources is not distributed among the districts the way it should be. I think there's a lot of tension when it comes to favoritism, etc. Mm-hmm. But now, I've also heard some of the council people say we have no authority, so we can't do anything. Well, see, to me, that's an excuse for being down there to not be doing anything, because you already said you don't have no power, so that eliminates your ability to respond to the citizens in the community. But here's the problem, I think. I think the problem is with the people that represent us. They don't have enough connection. Now, he was right when he said the citizens, the taxpayers in the community need to look after their community. But see, most people do. Working class people that keep their lawnmowers, they keep their houses painted, they keep the cars up to date. They don't have car parks all over the street and all over the lawn and the grass and everything else that would take from it. But lower class communities have that. If you guys to this city, and I noticed that in neighborhoods where there's minimum income, the sidewalks are rolled up with grass, the trees that took most of the street, they're burnt out houses, they're dilapidated streets and players and holes in it, schools running, and it's just bad. But see, now, that's a reflection on your representatives that represent your community and your district. And it's bad. I ride these streets every day. And I can take you to neighborhoods that you wouldn't believe. And the council people are sitting up saying one thing, and it's a totally different experience once you get there. Mm-hmm. So, with limited resources, I can understand. But certain things that the city should do, must do, they're not doing. Mm-hmm. And it's a breakdown. So, new leadership, people that have the ability to attract new businesses, to help aid the different sections of the city, the different districts, that would be fine. But you have to have someone there that's on the council board that loves their community, that maybe lives in the community and loves the people that live there and pay taxes. We can't forget these people because they're struggling. And they're going to keep struggling if we don't take initiative to help them. And a lot of times we can do more than we do, but we don't. So I'll say to everyone that's elected here in Jackson, do a little bit more than you paid to do. And go out in the community and talk to people and find out what these problems are and how you can aid them or assist them in the direction to get these problems solved. Otherwise, it's going to get worse. Thank you, sir, for taking my call.
I appreciate it, Cab, man. Thanks a lot for being a good mentor. I want to end on this. We got 3 minutes left to go on the show. If you're serious about moving this state cannot move forward until Jackson and Hinds County move forward, until Hinds, Madison, and Rankin County work together. Like when you go down to the coast, it's one coast. When you go up to the South Haven area, it's one area. When you go to the Golden Triangle, it's not Lowndes County, it's the whole Golden Triangle. All 3 or 4 of them counties up there. Jackson has to work together. inside of Hinds County, and Hinds, Madison, Rankin County got to work together. And specifically when it comes to Jackson, you're going to continue to have problems until you change the structure. Until you change the rules of the game, you're going to continue to have it. Jackson has taken away the balance of powers. See, all government in America is built on two fundamental premises: separation of powers and balance of powers. And when you manipulate the separation of powers by moving the clerk's office over to the mayor's side of the fence, where they control the elections and run the elections and the contracts and all that, and then you take that away from the council side of the fence, that whole bid opening and all that, we must reestablish government. You do not have a government if you don't have separation of powers and balance of powers. You do not. And so until we change the structure of how the city operates, and you can go back through news stories and listen to how the mayor, the council manager form of government works. But we believe that's the best move for the structure of the city, so that you can at least form a foundation of solid government and equal representation under the law. These are some basic things that we have to go. Pardon words, Mr. Clark.
Commissioner, summing up, one thing you're saying is that the city got to fix itself from within.
That's right.
Ain't nobody coming.
That's right. And no,
I'm gonna be honest.
Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, none of these people coming back and say, we got to save ourselves. And it started off with having a structure to build on top of government. We have, and then also to those people who are running for office that said, I'm the answer. Okay, the only way you're the answer is if you can get a mayor and a council majority group together to commit to 12 to 16 years of doing this together.
We telling the whole plan we did for 2014. Come on,
I'm just saying, you got to have people that's going to be committed
skills. They got
to work together for 12 to 16 years.
Institutional knowledge. They got to have the skill set for the job.
So each department has to be rebuilt. But we're gonna touch base back on this again. Ali Shamsuddin is coming in the door, kicking in the door right now. But again, ladies and gentlemen, remember, we got to work together and be willing to make some changes that's going to change some people's pockets, because some people make money off of corruption. So again, we got Kenneth I coming on board. Hey, Kenneth, come here, Kenneth. Come here. Come here real quick, Council.
Hey, Bob.
Come on in here for a second.
Yes, sir.
Ali gonna be all right.
All right.
Yeah. I wanted to get your take. Our solution has been for years to change the system of government, because the system is corrupt. Even though we've had people that's been, had issues, there's a structural problem here, Jack.
It's an advantage. You said that for years.
Right.
Before you left, you said let's use the city manager.
Right.
What happened is you got too many people that became money hungry.
There you go.
Money hungry people, and then they in position, they had friends that would lead them the wrong way. And they made wrong right and right wrong.
That's right.
And it hurts. It make all black people look like we can't run nothing. We're a bunch of thieves, and we know that's not true.
Now, I know we're bleeding over on time. Ali, give me a little grace and mercy, brother. Let me ask you this question. You've been on the council a long time.
Long time.
If we had 4 council people and you were one of the 4, and you appointed a city manager, could you get more resources for your ward
without having to kiss somebody behind? You're exactly right. You shouldn't have to do all that to get something done. I came here by Parkside, by the zoo. People trying to go to work, going to the hospital. All of this, the street is such a bad shape you can't even drive. All the taxes people pay in Jackson, why our streets are so bad? Then when they tap your car, they don't want to pay to have it fixed.
Yeah, so our position has been, people say a lot of times, well, Kenneth Stokes hadn't done a lot in his area. He ain't had 4 votes to do a lot in his area. We got to change the structure. I know we got to go. We'll touch base back on this. They'll keep this conversation going in the next show. But I will say this. Appreciate you for your work, Council. Jason Clark, we appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, remember this. Never let anybody put you in a position when you don't love your own people.
Amen.
Even when you got to tap them on their rear end and give them some act right. Never let folks put you in a position when you don't love your own folks. And remember, we got to love each other.
Amen.
We got to work together. And we can get through this and achieve even more as long as we work together and be serious and stop playing. I love y'all. Handy, get us out of here, man.
Handy man in the house.
Man.